We're doing something different here. I'm making some hamburgers. I've got a pound of extra lean ground beef here, and I got a pound of bacon all chopped up real fine. Now, if you had I do have the meat grinder attachment for the KitchenAid, but I didn't feel like getting that out. It only takes 5 minutes to chop up a pound of bacon really fine. Basically, just going to throw them both in here, mix it up. I'm probably only going to use about half of that bacon. I'll set the other half aside in the fridge for something else. That'll give you about 2 parts extra lean ground beef to about 1 part finely chopped bacon, just for making burgers. Put what you normally do in there. Normally I put a teaspoon of salt in that, but the bacon's already going to have a fair bit of salt. So I've got here about 20 peppercorns that I ground up in the pestle and mortar, and I'm going to chuck those in there. And then I'll just stick in the beef, half of the bacon, give it a good mix, and then I'm going to form my burger. Alright, so the pepper's already in there. I'm going to stick my ground beef is going in, extra lean. And I'm not going to be too exact about measuring the bacon, but about half of that. And you take the extra lean ground beef, because you do need fat in burgers. And there's quite a bit of fat in bacon, obviously, so that's why you get the extra lean. Even if you can get better than extra lean, that's what you want. So I'm just going to fire that in the fridge there. We'll give that a mix, and then we'll form our burgers. Alright, so it's all in there. We just want to give it a mix. And usually I'll put finely chopped onions in there too. But I really want the bacon to be the star in this mixture. So I actually have some onions here already chopped up that we'll just use to put on top of the burgers for those that like them. Even the kids, when you chop the onions really finely, the kids that don't normally like onions really like it in the burgers. So we just give that a turn for like a minute or so. Now we're going to come over to here and form our burgers. Alright, so that's not going to make a whole lot of burgers. It's going to make 5 or 6, I don't know. That's okay. That's all I need. Burgers are for the kids. We got steaks for the adults. I always just do them by hand really quickly. There's one. What do we got in there? That's how much we got. We're going to get 5 or 6 out of that, which is just about perfect. Ooh, that bacon smells good. I got bacon, it's a mainstream bacon. It's not a small artisanal bacon. The place where I used to work is pretty far away, so it's not easy to just go out there and pick up a bunch of bacon. But there are some mainstream bacons that I find are really good. The President's Choice ones are pretty good. There's a few others. Alright, looks like we're going to get 6 there. You can see there's a fair bit of fat in there. It's going to cook up. It's going to be just absolutely gorgeous. Alright, there's that. Oh, we might get 7. I don't know. We'll split that last bit up in 2. We'll go with that. These 2 will be a little bit smaller, I guess, by the feel of it. If you want to get, sometimes I get anally retentive, and I take the amount of meat that I have, I weigh it, and then I decide how many burgers I want. I do simple division, and then I take out chunks of meat and weigh them as I go along to make sure I'm getting them all exactly the same size. If you were having a fancy dinner party or something like that, that would be something that you would want to do, actually, is pre-weigh them all like that to get them all exactly the same size. But just when I'm doing it like this, even sometimes for the family, I get anally retentive and I do that. So there we go. 6 burgers, really quick. Bacon burgers. We're going to show you what they look like on the big green egg. Okay, we're almost there. Unfortunately, my thermometer on my egg has got to be recalibrated, and I haven't gotten around to it yet. So I'm usually guessing at the heat, but I never guess at the temperature of the meat. I always have a thermometer with me. Fairly quickly read thermometer. Takes 3-4 seconds with this one. It's not as good as one of those high-priced ones, but for 20 bucks, it's really good. We're going to throw those burgers on there. And I always time it as well. I don't like to guess with meat, especially with people's health. I don't guess. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There. So we got them on there. I've got an app for my smartphone. Let's see. I'll do 4 or 5 minutes aside and keep them going back and forth. I know some people say you only go once on each side, whatever, you know. I just don't want them to get burned. So I start my timer. And I'll check back here in about 4 minutes. I always check at about 4 minutes and see how we're doing. Right now, that's pretty hot in there, so 4 minutes is going to be a fair bit, and we'll see how it's going. We're checking her again on this side. That's pretty darn hot in there. That's hotter than your average barbecue. I'm guessing it's about 700 degrees, so they cook quicker. Let's just have a look at the internal temperature. We're still only 125 degrees, so we're flipping them again. There's bacon in those, so there's a lot of flare up because of the bacon in there. There again. Woo! There's a lot of smoke there. That's pretty hot. We're checking the internal temperature. We're now at about 165 degrees, which is done. That's 172, they're done. Those bad boys are done, and we're going to take them in the house now. Do silly things.